Hey, everybody. Happy Halloween. It is Halloween at the time of this show. So, this is a treat instead of a trick. It is the Jim Masters Show live entertainment, lifestyle, celebrity talk show series. I happen to be your host, Jim Masters, playing the role of Jim Masters this Halloween. We have done some crazy things on Halloween. This time, we figured we would allow our guest to share their talents, his talents. I am talking about somebody extraordinary. Michael Gutenplan is here, world-renowned master mentalist. So you've got the master and masters together on the same show. Pretty cool on a Halloween, huh? Master mentalist, psychic, magician, entertainer extraordinaire. We're very excited to have him here on the show. He is a third generation psychic as well. We're going to be talking about all that, cool things that he's working on, cool things that he's doing. And also there might be some things he's going to do for me and for all of you right here live on the Jim Masters Show live series. So stay tuned. It's pretty exciting. Again, as a master mentalist, third generation psychic and entertainer, he's been awarded Best Club Entertainment by Boardroom Magazine 2021, 2022, Excellence and Achievement Awards, consistently named by fabulous surveys that involve top corporate entertainers as winner of the Los Angeles Award for Best Psychic Entertainer, named Best Thing to Do by Time Out New York, praised by the New York Times, the LA Times, Variety, the Washington Post. Michael's award-winning magic and mentalism will energize, enthrall, and entertain you. He's going to do for us here on the show. As I mentioned, third generation psychic. He has over 23 years of professional experience in the world of entertainment. As a world-class entertainer, he knows how to engage and captivate the most sophisticated and hardest to please audiences. And he can be seen reading minds and performing his amazing feats of incredibleness at private clubs, corporate events, meetings, galas, private events, and much more around the world. And he has been featured as a performer at the world-famous Magic Castle in Hollywood, a residency at Six Flags Magic Mountain. He's advised film, television, theater, and theme park productions as a magic and psychic consultant. He's received rave reviews for his one-man off-Broadway show, Extraordinary Deceptions, and he's a proud member of the Psychic Entertainers Association and a performing member of the Academy of Magical Arts at the Magic Castle. As a matter of fact, he's also performed many law enforcement work for agencies, law enforcement agencies, which I think is fantastic, including members of the Secret Service and lots more. He's internationally famous, and he has something coming up at the Magic Castle, actually, which is going to be really something really terrific. It is a rare free to the public performance, filming his full mentalism and mind reading show at the world famous Palace of Illusion at the Magic Castle, Los Angeles, California. We're going to talk about that and all the other cool things that are coming up. And he, again, may do some cool things for us here on the show, which I think is going to be absolutely awesome. So it is so apropos that he's here on Halloween, sort of a mystical evening as it is and day. And he's going to be sharing some of his expertise. Again, he's a professional at this. It's not something he does just for laughs. He's a real pro. He's been doing it for a long time. It's in his blood. It's in his family. And it's something that he absolutely loves. Matter of fact, we do have a little preview promo, 2023 preview promo that we're going to show you of some of his work. Let's take a look at that right now. Then we'll have him on the show coming to us in just a second from Los Angeles, California. Take a look at this, gang.
My name is Michael Gutenplan, and I'm a third-generation psychic and mentalist, and you're about to have the most incredible experience of your life.
Rise up, I want to rise up. Yeah! That is incredible. That is amazing.
I think that's pretty close. Susie, oh, thank you, Susie. How they go? Yes! Oh, yes, okay. That is crazy. Give her a round of applause. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Go back to your seat. Thank you very much.
What is the word for
Disregard.
That's the word I thought you would
What the hell did you do to me?
One person up here is standing a little bit different. It's not hands in the pockets, it's not the facial expressions, it's the thinking man. It's on a corner, it's seeing who else is lying. It's someone who's trying to hide the fact that they wrote the word Paula. This is the time to be honest, you wrote the word Paula. I am happy to play poker with you.
I believe we have unlocked all of your psychic potential. My name is Michael Gutenplan. Good night, everybody.
How cool is that? And there he is in the flesh.
Hello.
Welcome,
Abracadabra.
Michael. Abracadabra.
Thank you. Wow, it was fun to watch that. I don't get to watch my own material that often. So that's actually what we're doing the show is we are that video is designed for a very specific audience. It's designed for corporate events and country clubs and what's called the ultra high net worth individual or family. It's not designed for theaters or cruise ships. And I got to get new material. So we are doing a show at the Magic Castle. It's 11 a.m. on November 8th. So anybody who's watching this who's going to be in Los Angeles on November 8th, go to my website, www.mentalist.show. There's a contact form. Just send me an email. Say, hey, I want to come to your show, and you will be my guest. But, you know, if you got to invest in yourself if you believe in it enough. So I'm booking the theater, I'm doing the show, and it's also really, which I think is the best part of the whole thing, I'm inviting the public. Anybody can come who wants to watch it, because everybody always says, when can we see you? Now you can see me.
He's going to be there at the Magic Castle. How cool is that, huh, Michael?
I love it. It's the world's greatest showcase for magicians and mentalists, and there is a difference. You know, the magic, a magician does something, and the agreement we have, even if it's not stated, is I know you did something, right? It was a trick of something. The lady was not sawed in half. The guy didn't float. I mean, there's a trick. The mentalist does something, or the psychic entertainer does something, and you go, huh, is there a little truth to it? Is there something real? Is he really reading the body language? Did he really know the prediction? So I do think that there is the element of questioning the truth with a psychic entertainer that you don't get with a magician. I call it sophisticated magic. It still has razzle dazzle. It still has pizzazz. I mean, did you see the shoes in the video? I mean, it's a lot of pizzazz in that show.
You've been doing this for a long time. I mentioned third generation psychic as well. When did you realize this is something that you not only wanted to do, but this is something you had to do? It was in your DNA. This is something that, you know, was calling you for the longest time.
Yeah, great question. So I am a third generation psychic. My father and my grandfather believe in ESP. Now, we don't talk to the dead. I think that's an important thing to say. We don't talk to the dead. But we trust our instincts. We trust our intuition. We don't think it's a power. We think it's a muscle. And the more you use it, the better you get at it. I grew up being taught that. I grew up in an environment where they taught me to trust my instincts, trust my intuition. And the more you do it over your lifetime, the stronger it will get. My grandfather did magic when I was a kid growing up, and I loved magic. But I never really wanted to do it. I was an aficionado. I would watch it everywhere. Get to college. I went to Carnegie Mellon in Pittsburgh, and they had a magic shop in Pittsburgh. And I went into the magic shop and I said, my grandpa does this thing, and they sold me the trick. And like my eyes were opened up. It was such an incredible formative moment when I bought that first trick. And then I would do tricks. And then eventually I learned magic. I learned sleight of hand. I learned entertainment. And I always wanted to do mind reading shows. It's in my DNA, as you said, it's in my blood. And the guy at the magic shop in New York City at Tannen's Magic, Tony Spina, said to me, listen, kid, nobody wants their mind read by an 18-year-old. It's weird. And what he was saying is that A mind reader has life experience, right? When you get your palm read, your crystal read, whatever it is, that person is telling you about your past, present, and future. The mind reader on stage is giving you a reading or doing something. The joke I make is, how can you predict the future if you're so far away from your own future, right? You're
Yeah.
18 years old. You don't know what's 10 years down the road, let alone 30, 40. So when I got into my mid 30s, and I had been working in television for 15 years at that point, making reality TV shows, I listened to the universe. The opportunity was presented. It felt like the right time to make a shift in my life. I did magic to figure out what I wanted to do. You got to pay the bill somehow. And I realized I wanted to do magic. And it was at that moment, my grandfather called me and he goes, listen, ESP is in you, it's in me. Now is the time you do the psychic show. It was great advice. It was that moment that I kind of said, oh my gosh, third generation psychic. What a tagline. It's all real. We're not making it up for the show, but it did need a little bit of the universe presents things, and then you go, okay, the door is being knocked on by the universe. Am I going to open it, or am I going to walk by? And in this case, I opened it up, and it was exactly the right thing to do. It was, okay, universe, I'm ready. At this point in my life, I'm ready. And over the last 7 years, it has been a phenomenal success. And right now, I'm at a point in the business where I'm investing in it to take it to the next level, to get those bigger corporate events, to do more theaters, to do cruise ships, to take it to the public that's not the ultra rich and the oligarchs and that kind of world.
You see a residency in Vegas?
I did you said it in the intro, I did a 2-month run a couple years ago at Six Flags Magic Mountain, and I absolutely loved it. We had 3 shows a night, 850 people a show, and it was the hit of the season. People were talking about it. I really enjoyed that. Unfortunately, with Vegas, you're really self-producing, and you are working so hard to get that audience that I don't know if that's in my cards. I think another New York run. I had a great run in New York almost 20 years ago now. My gosh, it's been a while. So I do think kind of my if I'm going to predict the future, I'm going to start getting booked at some regional theaters, which will take me back to doing a short run in New York City at some point. It's an incredible experience. It's not something. The people will say to me, I saw a Mentalist. We're not going to do it. And I go, it's kind of like music. You could see a cover band, or you can see Elvis Presley, and there's no duplicating Elvis or Little Richard or the Beatles or Taylor Swift. If you go see Taylor Swift and then you go see you're not going to go to turn down the Taylor Swift concert because you went to karaoke the other night and saw someone sing Shake It Off. And I think mentalism is like that. People go, I saw a magician. No, we are all different. Every single act, and the good acts really are unique. They are really different. And you're not, I'm going to call it a trick. I like the term experiment or mental, experiment, but the audience will understand the term trick, the routine. You may have multiple people doing the same routines. We'll use that term. But they are never done the same way. First of all, the audience is always different. And the great thing about a mind reading show, a psychic show, is every show is different because of the audience. The other element of that is my performance of a routine is going to be different than yours because I'm bringing into it a different personality, a different energy. All of that stuff is different. It's really important people understand that. No two are alike. And you do have the karaoke version, and then you have like me, I'm a mixture of Elvis, Little Richard, Liberace, and Elton John.
Those are top names. Those are top bill names. That's
well,
incredible.
At least with the outfits.
Did you feel as a kid that you had some of this as well? Were you aware of it, and did you acknowledge it as a kid?
I did because I was encouraged to. I think that we are taught as people to not listen to our instincts and intuition. We are taught to listen to our politicians, our teachers, our parents, our boss, or our clergy, and don't listen to yourself. Don't trust that instinct inside of you. But that's all psychic is. Psychic is blocking out the noise around you and trusting your intuition, your instinct. And it is a muscle. The more you do it, the better you get at it. I was lucky that I grew up in an environment with family and friends that were saying, no, listen to yourself. I don't get it right all the time. Just the other day, I was at the post office sending out a package, and my psychic vibration started going, and I said, oh, this is never going to make it. I shouldn't send it. But I didn't listen to myself. It's the post office, I trusted it, and it got lost in the mail. So we're not, nobody's perfect. Even the psychics are still working on trusting themselves over and over. But when I'm on stage, because I can control the environment, because I can control the unknowns, it does work more often than not. And I do believe most of what I do on that stage is real. It is incredible. It is a phenomenal experience of the audience's ESP. I'll give you an example if you want.
Yeah, we would love it. Absolutely. And there's a prediction
excellent.
or something too you're going to share later with us?
Yeah. So I told you, I before the show started, I told you on Instagram, I made a prediction. So it's timestamped. I can't change it. And I'll hold it up to the screen so you can see it. But I want you to take a deep breath in, and this is just based on intuition, instinct. I want you to imagine you were any place in the world, not where you are right now. Okay? It could be anywhere in the world. It could be from Antarctica to Zimbabwe. It doesn't matter. And I want you to take a deep breath in and say that place that comes to mind. I see you thinking. You're traveling. You're on that airplane. You've landed. You've gotten off. And now it's landing. Where are you getting off? What is that city, that country, that place that you really want to be?
I would say a place I haven't been to yet that I've always wanted to go to is Switzerland.
Any particular place in Switzerland?
Maybe Zurich to start, and then go out, branch out from there.
You've never been? Have you been to Europe?
Yes.
Where?
We've been to Italy and Greece and Germany and the Netherlands and England, Ireland, all in through there.
And I just want to make sure people understand we didn't, because we did talk before the show. I didn't say, hey, I want you to say this. Correct?
Right. Not at all.
Okay. So, and you can see it's not at the top here. I had it ready to go because I want everybody to see this. This is my Instagram page. You can find me at Amazing Mentalist. That's what it is, Amazing Mentalist. And let's see, it was posted 28 minutes ago. 28 minutes ago, I looked into my crystal ball and I wrote down a prediction. Let's see what it says. Hey, Gym Masters, I predict you'll say Zurich, Switzerland. And I did that 28 minutes ago. And it was actually liked by someone else before the show even started, by my friend Bernie Shine. That's how a prediction works. You can see it live on Amazing Mentalist on all my social media handles.
We love that Bernie Shine. He's amazing.
I love Bernie Shine. He's the best.
As are you. What a great name too, huh?
I have my Bernie Shine deck of cards right here.
Now, how cool is that, viewers?
Always behind me.
So he does this too. He's in this world as well.
Oh yeah, Bernie's an incredible magician and mentalist, and hilarious at it. And he does a show in Los Angeles. I'm going to give him a little plug here. He does a show in LA. If you're in LA, look it up, find it. Bernie is as good as it gets. You will not stop laughing. But the way that works,
you had predicted Zurich, Switzerland.
Here's what it is. Wow. Here's what it is. I took a look at you. This was before the show started, so I went and looked you up. There's not much out there. I don't know where you grew up and any of that kind of stuff. And I thought to myself, I'm going to ask him to travel somewhere. I'm going to ask him to go around the world. Where you're a cultured person, you're a celebrity in yourself. So where would you go? Well, you're not going to go to London, France. You're not going to go somewhere normal. But based on the world situation at this very moment, the Middle East is out, right? The Middle East is out. I think based on your personality and the little bit I can learn about you before the show started, you were not going to go in America. You were going to go somewhere different. And I didn't sense South America. I thought you were going to go for some luxury. Well, where is luxury? Where are you going to hide all of those billions and billions in gold bars that you have hiding? Oh no, those are Telly Awards. Where are you going to hide all the gold bars? You're definitely a Switzerland or Luxembourg guy. I thought Luxembourg was going to be a little too different, so I was going to say Switzerland. That's how I got Switzerland. And you really have three options. You have Lucerne, Zurich, or Basel. But I knew I was going to ask you to do something in the moment. I knew I was going to ask you to do something. So Switzerland, I knew we can get to based on the little bit I knew about you. And I figured because it was in that moment, and remember I was talking about in psychic shows, I control the situation. I said, where are we going to go? You said Switzerland. And then I said, what city? And you answered right away. It had to be Zurich. You weren't going to think about it. It was going to be just the easiest path of least resistance. And that's how that works.
It's funny because I've been saying Switzerland to family and friends a lot recently as well. I've been saying it all the time because we've done, America and Canada and other parts of Europe and Bermuda and Mexico and all, but Switzerland has been talked about lately.
We are more alike than we are different. I think that's the thing that people forget is I'll give you an example. I'll do a trick with a card, right? I'll pick up a card. I'll say, name a card. Well, you're going to name the Queen of Hearts, Ace of Diamonds, something similar. We within 5 cards, I know what you're going to say most likely. And we don't realize that. We don't realize that we humans are more alike than we are different. Well, I can weaponize that. I can make that into a magic trick, a psychic prediction. It is real. You are using real techniques of human to human connection, but there's an underlying layer, which is that secret that we are alike. So all our differences, all those moments you have where you go, ooh, nobody thinks like me, just no. We're all in the same boat. It's a great secret of the psychic. We are more alike than we are different. And you can use, if you know how to weaponize it, you can do incredible things.
Exactly right. Tell us, for the folks who are just tuning in, the nuances between being a master mentalist and a psychic. There might be a few things that sort of blend in, but the differences between the two and how you use them.
So a mentalist is mental magic. So you are paying me to go on that stage and to get it. Nobody's paying me to get it wrong, right? But more importantly, every element of my show is inviting someone in the audience to be on stage. And I do not want anybody to have a bad experience. I don't want anybody to get up on that stage and get it wrong. I want to get it wrong. I'm allowed to. So, hold on, I just lost you there. So what I do is I have the show, and I hope that the show is going to work right. I hope that it's going to go well. But if you make a mistake, if you don't have the psychic intuition that I hope you do, I am going to use that little secret thing in my back pocket to make it work. I need to make sure that you are protected as my audience member, as my volunteer, you are my co-star, and I will always protect you. That's the mentalist. The psychic is the person that trusts their intuition, their instinct. It's the level of truth in what you are doing. My instinct, my intuition was that you are going to say Zurich, Switzerland. That's the psychic, right? I don't talk to the dead. I don't communicate cross lines like that.
Spirits
I don't.
And all, right?
Yeah, I don't do that. I would. And here's the other thing. I would never take away someone's experience. It's not my place to tell someone what is real or fake, what they should or shouldn't believe. I do think there's a red line, and the line is when it becomes fraud. And what I mean by that is whether it's a psychic or a medium, if you are asked to come back, right? It's a wonderful experience for closure. But when the psychic or medium says, and now you have a curse and you need to give me $1 million and I'll cleanse your spirit, run for the hills. But if you're going for closure or for a neat experience, it's a great fun thing to do. The psychic is using intuition. The psychic is using their experience. The mentalist is using psychology, experience, but also a little bit of the magic. They're doing magic of the mind. When I am on stage, I believe what we are doing is real. I want it to be real, but I will never let the person with me fail. I can fail. And that's really that fine line.
So do you get messages that come your way, just vibes, different messages, different things?
I don't want to use the term messages because then it becomes, voice, then they're going to start making me take some pills to quiet down the voices.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah. I don't get I'll go back to that universe thing. I'm not a God person. I am a spiritual person. And I believe there are forces and elements out there that are beyond our comprehension. But I do believe they present things to us. So I'm a person who believes that the universe opens doors, it gives us pathways. And it is our job over a lifetime to follow that path. When we die, we have a birth date and an end date and a dash.
Yeah,
The dash is actually much more important than the two dates.
exactly.
You zoom in on that dash, you get a film strip of your life.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And looking back on that film strip, everything makes sense. This happened, which meant that happened, which meant that. Unfortunately, you're dead in the ground. You can't go, oh, it all made sense. So what I try to do is trust that it makes sense in the moment, follow that path that the universe sets out. If I make a left turn, if I get lost, there's a reason. There's something waiting to be discovered. If something happens during a reading and I get that, we'll call it a message, but a sense, I go with it. I trust the universe is setting me up for success. And the more we can trust that, the more psychic we get. So I don't think psychic is, as even though I do it looking in a crystal ball and telling you the future, I think psychic is trusting ourselves, trusting the universe, and believing that there is a purpose, even if we don't know what it is in that moment.
The room you're in is quite cool, and our viewers always love to see the rooms. So I sort of become like Edward R. Murrow, person to person on CBS. We're now at the home, the Hollywood home of Michael Gutenplan. Tell us about some of the cool things, including
Yes, I
the
love
crystal
this.
ball and
So
everything that you have in that cool room there.
I'm gonna we'll start with, this is my crystal ball. I actually do use this in shows and I use it in readings. I love it so much. Behind me, it's messy, and I apologize. I'm in the middle of prepping for this show, but this is a poster, a lithograph from the 1920s from Newman. The great, brilliant psychic star Newman the Great. He was one of the top psychic mentalists of his generation. Obviously, that's my poster. My entire apartment on the other side of this door is beautiful 1900s lithographs. But if you look, this is my bookshelf of magic stuff. I have my Telly Awards. I've never done this behind the scenes thing here. This is kind of fun. And the rest of my apartment is really, really cool vintage lithographs. And then if you looked on the floor, you would say, oh my gosh, clean this place up. It is full. I'm piling up all the stuff for my show. So I have very bizarre things like a giant New York City phone book where I do a phone book prediction. This has over 1,000 pages, almost 1,900 pages for Manhattan. They don't make these anymore. This was from 2006, the last year they made it. And I have weird stuff like that all over the apartment where you go, who has this?
What does it take to put a show together? I mean, in terms of any props, equipment, time,
the most important thing,
storyboarding it.
There's three elements. The most important thing is respecting the audience's intelligence. I think when people put together magic shows or mind reading shows or any sort of show that involves the mystery arts, they forget that the audience is intelligent. They can go on YouTube, they can go on Instagram. So what I do, the first thing I do is I have a list right here of all these effects that I want to do. I write them down, and then I go on YouTube. And then I go on Instagram and Google and all these places, and I say, okay, is there anything, even if it's wrong, can I find out how it's done in some aspect? Can I go onto a thing and can I go on Amazon and buy it? If anything is easy to find the answer to, it's out, right? That's the first thing. Respect the audience's intelligence. The second level is theater. I went to 5 years at Carnegie Mellon University School of Drama. I really enjoyed it. I took my time and wanted that extra year. And it is a show. There's a beginning, middle, and end. There's a script. There's an understanding of theatrical process. There's an understanding that you have to validate your skill set for the audience because they're coming to see a mentalism show. They're not necessarily coming to see me do it. I'm not at a level where people are coming to see me. So I need to validate myself. I need to do a series of things at the beginning of the show so the audience goes, okay, this guy is worth our attention. So structure of showmanship. The third thing are the routines. It's the least important thing in the show. What am I going to do? And I have that list that I used at the beginning, but now it has some things crossed out. And what I'll do is I'll go through and I'll go, okay, the phone book prediction's pretty cool. It's a little outdated, but I'm going to still do it. And I'm going to do this thing where I have someone think of a card and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to do this, I'm going to do my blindfold act where I duct tape my face. So you have the routines that have stood up the test of scrutiny. That's the respect in the audience thing, and then it comes full circle where then you actually put them together, and then it kind of ebbs and flows as to what you're doing. The most important thing is that audience, giving them an incredible experience, unlocking their psychic potential, and making them leave the theater, the restaurant, the ballroom, whatever it is, and making them go, wow. Because my audience can afford anyone. My audience can book David Copperfield. I do the 1% of the 1%. I do celebrities and oligarchs and that level.
And it took time to build that up to get to that level, right? You put the time in.
Yeah, what happened was I was doing these shows, and when I started doing this in Hollywood, I found myself working for event planners, and they would pass my name around. So I very quickly went from doing, a show here and a show there to, I got a little something on my shirt here, doing a show here and a show there. And they would pass my name and they would say, oh, you got to book this guy. So I was doing these celebrity events, which got me to CEOs, which got me to kind of these unique worlds. And when you do that, you better earn your keep. You better do the most incredible thing they've never seen. So I couldn't go in and say, pick a card. I had to go in and say, I want you to think of something. I'm going to tell you what you're thinking of. It does raise the bar. I'm at a point now where I'm going, wait a minute. Why are only these people able to see me? I want everyone to see me. I want to do this show for the public at the Magic Castle. I want to do cruise ships. I want to do theaters. I want to do everything. There is no reason every single person, no matter what your wealth level is, no matter where you live, should not be able to experience incredible psychic entertainment in a safe, clean way, without the fear that they're being scammed or something.
And what about when sometimes people...
I just had a coffee. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, no, that's good. So you're all charged up. And I knew you had a coffee.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, that's it. Can we try another thing? So many people joined. They didn't see the prediction part. Can I try something with you?
Absolutely. And then we'll talk about how, because I know some people might even be lumping in hypnosis with all of this too. And that's a whole other thing. All right.
Do you want me to use the blue deck or the red deck?
I like the blue just because it stands out. You always see the red decks.
Yeah.
The blue's kind of cool. And it sort of matches.
I don't have a blue deck, so there we go.
Hey, my favorite color is green. You got a green deck?
Blue it is. I took one card out of the blue deck. And I put it into this deck, which is interesting. Cool. So hopefully we can get it to work. Let's do this. Just say stop at any time. Let's see if you can get the blue card. Just yell out stop.
All right, stop.
Okay, now if you don't like this card, I'll give you a different one. But you stopped at the 3 of clubs. Would you like that one or a different one?
I do like that card. Yeah.
And you said you wanted it to be blue. Unfortunately, it was not. How about this? Say the magic words.
Which are stop.
No, you tell me. Stop. It is. Oh, what? How did you know?
Shazam.
Well, that is interesting. You said Shazam, and one card turned blue. I'm going to do this so everybody can see it. I don't want there to be any funny business. But it happened to be your card. The 3 of clubs is the blue card that I took out earlier. You did it. We got your 3 of clubs to be blue. I love magic. It's not what I do in the show. But,
you know why I picked the 3? Because I tend to be somebody who... maybe I shouldn't even say it so you could predict it. I love even numbers more than odd. I like square more than circle because it has endpoints. But I like even numbers, the 2, the 4, but I like 3 because I have a lot of colleagues that work at channel 3. And I was thinking of it as the 3 popped up.
Huh, that is interesting.
Isn't
You know, it's interesting. You talk about squares and what we like and who we are. There's a thing in psychic work called cold reading. We'll get into the hypnotist question in a second. But cold reading means that you come in cold. I know nothing about you. And based on how you're dressed or what you're wearing, or in this case, what I can see behind you, tells me so much about you. And it's really the secret of the psychic. You walk in, they're observing. So when people say, oh, it's fake, it's called cold reading. No, 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 it's real. The more you do it, the better you get. You're using intuition and instinct. But if we had done the cold reading, it's actually interesting because of how perfectly done your hair is. If you look at your set, everything is it's a lot of lines. I'm going to say you're a clean person. You are that person that you fold your underwear, you know. You know, there is that element, and you pick up on those things. It's really interesting. A hot reading, just for anybody who's wondering what that is, means I did my research before we started. I would have looked you up and I would have known a little bit about you. I would have gotten the dossier. That's a hot reading. That's where kind of you get into it's not a scam, but it is a little unethical, I think, in the psychic world, in that you're presenting stuff as in the moment when you've already gotten it before you got there.
You mean to tell me that you predicting that I fold my underwear isn't a hot reading? It should be. Because my underwear are hot.
I would imagine there's some
Boxers, briefs, boxer briefs, or
red
combo.
silky version in there or something. You know, there's definitely some interesting colors in that drawer of yours. And psychically, let me look into your underwear drawer. Oh, mama, that's too hot.
It was very interesting. I woke up this morning and the drawer was wide open. I don't know how that happened. And it was disheveled.
No responsibility.
And some were missing.
If you go to my eBay page,
gone fishing, it said. My eBay page, that's it. See, now, if you told me in advance, I could have autographed it. We could have split the difference.
They're worth more when they're stolen. You were asking about hypnosis.
Hypnosis.
So hypnosis is actually a real thing. People ask me about this all the time. Do you do hypnosis? I know how to hypnotize. I think it's a fascinating thing. I choose not to do it in my show for one very specific reason. In my show, when someone comes up on the stage, I want them to feel safe. I want them to feel secure. It's already uncomfortable being on the stage, so I want it to be a very easy environment for them when they're up there. Therefore, if you do hypnosis, someone's going to laugh. You're going to get into this kind of moment of trance, if we'll call it that. And then everybody laughs. I don't want anybody to be laughed at. I don't want anybody to have an uncomfortable experience. So I do not include it in my show. With that being said, hypnosis is real. It is an enhanced form of suggestion. The way the subconscious works is the subconscious accepts everything presented to it as true. It doesn't have a truth filter, which is why when you're dreaming, it's a very real dream. And as soon as you question that dream, you're falling off the cliff, you go, wait a minute, I shouldn't. You wake up, the subconscious goes, hold on, you challenged me, I'm turning off. So the subconscious will always accept something given to it as the truth. Hypnosis allows your subconscious to get truths in the moment. It's a heightened state of suggestion. So if I say you are a chicken, your subconscious doesn't challenge it. And you go, yeah, I'm a chicken, cluck, cluck, cluck. Right? I'm going to jump, cluck, cluck, cluck around the room until I say, stop, you're no longer a chicken, you're back with us. Hypnosis is incredible. When it's done by a professional who cares about the experience of the audience and is not just doing it for laughs, it's a truly amazing thing. For anybody watching that is going, well, I want to learn how to quit smoking, that's called medical hypnosis. It's different. It's the same techniques, but you actually want to go to a hypnotherapist, not medical, hypnotherapy. You want to go to a hypnotherapist. You want to go to someone that has been trained, and there's different styles of training, just like any other medicine. You don't necessarily want to go to the person doing the stage show. Right. Some of them can do it. Most stage show people can do hypnotherapy, but it is a different training, and it is serious, and you want to make sure you go with the correct person.
And we're having a lot of levity and a lot of fun tonight. But on a serious note, and of course we can't talk about specifics, but I think it's also cool that you've had an opportunity to work with and help law enforcement, Secret Service, things of that nature over the years too, that come calling. That's quite amazing work, isn't it?
You know what? There's two sides to that. The first is when you just entertain them, and I love entertaining any sort of law enforcement or fire people also, but the law enforcement, whether it's Secret Service, police, military people, they have such a sense of I'll use the term distrust. And when you you talk about people that sit back and go, "You're not going to get me." Boy, it's the only time in my career where I get a small smile when I got them, because calm down, guys. It's a magic show. We're just entertaining. So you do psychic work, you do magic with police officers. They get a kick out of it because they are not they're so trained to see the deception that when they do experience it, it's so much fun for them. My favorite moment, I was doing a show in Pittsburgh when I was in college, and it was for a bunch of Secret Service people. They were having a meeting or something in Pittsburgh, and I stole the watch, which I love to do sometimes, from the head of the department or whatever it was. And
well, there's somebody I wanted to introduce you to. It's the head of the department. Come on in.
Oh my God! Don't lock me up. Don't handcuff me. He had a watch that was made out of a double gold eagle coin. Now, these coins were confiscated in the 1920s. They're worth millions of dollars. And basically, whatever the department that was responsible for getting those coins back, the head of the department had one turned into a watch, and it was passed down from head to head. He did not find that very funny when I stole it. He give me that back. His friends around him thought it was hilarious. But I've had the opportunity to do work with a lot of 3-letter word agencies in the government. There's a lot of lessons that can be learned from the art of deception. And I don't necessarily encourage police departments to use psychics to find missing people, but it would be helpful for them to have some mentalists and magicians on retainer to help see through the deception that a lot of criminal geniuses put up. There was actually a TV show about that where the FBI had a magic consultant who would say, hey, they did this. But if you ever watch the TV show Psych, if you ever watch Monk, that's a mentalist, right. The Mentalist.
And The Mentalist on CBS, which was fantastic. That was a great series.
That is, it's television and it's a little heightened. Yeah. But that is kind of what a mentalist does, is they look at the small details and they can tell so much about it. I was doing yesterday, someone asked for an example. What would a mentalist do? And I said, well, I'll give you an example. I'm looking at a couch right now, and the couch has ripples in it, which says to me that you only sit on the left side of the couch. And they went, how did you know that that's my side? And I said, I just told you, the other side is perfectly pristine. This side has some grading to it. What else can you tell? And I said, well, you've never watched, and on their remote, Netflix was like rubbed out. The other one had never been touched, whatever it was, Hulu or something. I said, you've never watched Hulu. And they go, oh my God. And it's not magic. You're observing, you're giving details that they think, how could you know this? And all I'm doing is saying, well, I'm noticing this, and the other thing. If we do that in our lives, you're going to start, it's a muscle. And I said this earlier on, the more you use it, the better you get at it. It's like juggling. I can't juggle. I can't do 3 balls. It's impossible. I've tried. So when I watch a juggler do 3 balls, I go, oh my goodness, this is so crazy. It must be so difficult. And they go, no, it's my job. I do this every day. I juggle. That's what being a psychic is. I do this every day. So it seems amazing. It seems impossible, but we're more alike than we are different. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. It's an incredible, fascinating world of ESP, and we all have it. Every single person watching right now, and all the people that are not watching, shame on them, they have it. They have it in them.
Do you teach people? It sounds like you'd be great set up to mentor and inspire and teach others sort of coming up the ranks. Kids and what have you.
I'm an entertainer. I do believe in my psychic abilities. I believe in everybody's psychic abilities. I'm not a teacher. That is a unique skill set that I don't have. I don't, it's.
Do you have patience?
No,
Yeah,
I don't have patience for myself, and I don't have patience.
So that would be
I do palm readings, I do crystal
Yeah.
readings, but I always say if you want a good reading, go to the person that does it for a living. Go to the psychic on the corner. Go to the person that has a parlor. They do that. I'm a showman. If you're having a corporate event, if you're having a holiday party, that's when you call me. If you want a reading, go to the expert in that. I'm not offended that you didn't come to me. I actually would suggest you do that. If you're having a holiday party and you want a tarot reader, or you want a crystal reader, or a palm reader, that's when you call me, because I know how to do it quick. I know how to get you in and out and give you an amazing experience with showmanship. Again, and I'm going to preface this, there is a red line, and the red line is when it goes from being your choice to their choice. If the psychic, if the medium, if the person you go to see says, you need to come back with more money so I can clear some curse, or we didn't get it, run. That's a scam. You should never have to go back.
Right now. It's like it used to be when models were first starting out, and there would be photographers who would want to take all these modeling shots for everybody, but they would make you a star model only if you buy the photography package.
The package.
Not quite. You know, it's funny that you had mentioned tarot cards and things of that nature. A few years back, several years back, actually, I was doing a show on iHeartRadio for many years. And two of the clients, totally separate from one another, were tarot card readers and psychics. And one called me at the station and said, Jim Masters, I don't know what it is, but I'm being compelled to do your cards. And if you've never done it before, don't worry about it. You don't have to come, but I'm just getting a vibe listening to your voice, seeing you on TV, or just knowing about you. I'm getting some sort of a calling that I got to do it. I said, can you come to, the office and we'll do it? And I said, absolutely. I'm very open, whatever. I learned from it. Went. She started flipping the cards, didn't really ask anything prior to build up any sort of case. And every card she flipped at that point in time matched everything that was happening. I was thinking, things that just occurred, things that happened several years ago or whatever. And it was incredible, the flipping of the cards. And the uncanny thing about that is I got another call from somebody else, maybe 30 days later, somebody that's extraordinarily experienced in it. Matter of fact, he's got this idyllic Victorian home near, Yale University, and he looks like a scientist. You go upstairs into his home, and it's thousands of books and the globe and the charts, and that's sort of,
what's his name?
Darkly, I forget his name.
Not Andy.
That's ringing a bell because it's been a long time. It's been about 10 years at least. But I will get you that name because I think
not Andy Morgan.
Why does that sound so familiar? It might be. It might be. He's an older gentleman.
Reader.
Older gentleman.
Don't tell him that.
Seasoned veteran.
don't say that to him.
If it's the same person, I'll but he was a very nice man, and he was a big fan of my work and everything. So he said the same thing. He said, I'm being compelled to do your cards. I never told him that I saw somebody who invited me 30 days earlier to do it. So I went, and we went upstairs into this Victorian castle-like home. It was really fascinating. Nice guy. We had tea and cookies and the whole bit. Met his wife. He says, okay, here's what I've got.
Andy.
Just started flipping the cards, and every card that he flipped matched exactly, without me saying anything in advance, without me even saying somebody invited me 30 days ago, exactly matched what the other person, that the woman, had flipped earlier, to a T. And then he put together, thick reading and all the moons lined up and this whole printout that was incredible. He says, I'll have it for you in a week, and it's like this thick, and this is what this means, this is what this means. But it was just fascinating to me that two people 30 days apart, not knowing each one, invited me to do it.
It is amazing.
Flipped cards that were exact.
you know,
What does that mean? Is that kind of cool?
Here's the thing. I do want to. There's a lot of people who call themselves skeptics, who are contrarians, who just don't want to believe, and that's fine. It is not their place to comment on anybody else's belief or experience. I think that's where the line is for me.
You know, it made me believe after that.
Yeah.
The two.
I think the universe is a weird, wild, wonderful thing. And the universe put you in a position, it knocked on your door, and you said, yes, come in. And the universe gave you two incredible experiences that you remember forever. Clearly, you're talking about them right now. So I wasn't there. I kind of think of psychic readings like gambling. You never really talk about the losses. Nobody goes home and says, I lost $1 million. What a day. No, you go and you say, I won $1,000. You ignore the $20,000 that you lost. You only talk about that big win. So with things like readings, your mind shuts out some of the losses, some of the misses, and you remember those hits. I said this earlier, there's cold reading. Just because there's a technique doesn't make it any less amazing. What you experienced was psychic work. It sounds like there's another element to it, which is you experienced it from two people who wanted to give you a great experience. And often what happens in psychic work is the psychic is not that great. It's not that they're a good psychic or a bad psychic. It's they're not a good entertainer. And at the end of the day, it is entertainment. It is a show. There's a candle and there's a pad and we cleanse the room with incense and we clap our hands. It's like religion. There's ceremony, right? If you're not doing that, you're not giving the person what they deserve, which is an experience. So you were lucky that the two people that you had gave you an experience and you present yourself as who you are. So the universe set it up that you were going to be successful. You answered that door. You gave permission to the universe for it to be a success. But the other element is you were working with two people that understood their job. And their job is to give you a specific reading that will empower you and be honest and truthful to your experience. Of course, they're going to be similar. You are still you. It was too close of time for there to be major differences. That means the two people you went to were really good.
Yeah.
If you go now, you shouldn't get the same reading.
Right.
Because tarot, crystals, palms.
Yeah.
It's the cards are not what's giving you the reading. It's the reader that's interpreting the cards and saying, this is what they mean. So in your mind, you're saying it was the same. You may have had the same experience. I don't know if the cards were exactly the same, but I do believe that what the cards revealed were the same because you are still you, which makes it even more real. It means that, the people you worked with were really good and they respected you.
Yeah, it was a situation where they gifted it too. They just said, I just feel compelled to have to do it. I had somebody else too in the world of astrology, a colleague of mine, a co-host of mine on PBS, and she's very deeply involved in the world of astrology, loves it and follows it. She came up to me at one time and said the same thing. She said, I don't know what it is. And there was no asking for payment or anything. This was just a friend who felt she had to figure out, my astrological sign and the whole bit and characteristics, which I already knew because I'm a Libra. And so I said, sure. She says, I'm being compelled through the aura of co-hosting and working with you and seeing you move around the studio to do this. And she did it. And a lot of what she said was accurate and was true. And, she says, one of the big things that stood out about me, she said, and if you just stop thinking about this one thing, it'll make things just so much smoother and you just keep moving forward. She said, you worry too much about whether you're pleasing people. And if you would just drop that will clear a path that's even, more clear than it is now, because you wouldn't have to worry about doing something that your personality already does for you, which I thought was really fascinating. So she hit that on the head. With the tarot card readers, which I thought was really cool, there was one particular card that stood out that was flipped by both of them separately. that really hit it on the head. And it was the card, if I recall it correctly. There had been a recent passing of a relative, and I was also being offered something in the industry, in my career, that would give me an opportunity to think about whether I wanted to stay with the show I was with and the station and everything else. So there was the card where the man is at the stream, and it's at a crossroads, and there isn't a bridge across the stream to the other side. It's just sort of, and I don't remember if he has a sword in his hand or something, but I just remember he's sort of like leaning towards the stream, like it's a crossroads. And they both had said, you're at a crossroads with the passing of the relative, with this opportunity that's coming your way, though you love what you've been doing at the station with the people you've been with, and you're at a crossroads, and you have to find the way to build the bridge over that stream of water. Do you know that particular card?
I'm actually not.
Vividly, that vividly sticks with me. I
don't know what deck they were using. I mean, each deck is a little bit different. But what I'm going to go back to is the
very, very cool
experience that they gave you. They respected you. They respected your experience and yourself. And they were doing those readings. You know, the thing about tarot and the thing about crystals and the palm is it doesn't matter what they say. It matters what you give off. So I could have done it with ruins. I could have done it with pieces of paper towel that I ripped up. At the end of the day, you are the person that is leading that reading. And what is being revealed is what you're giving off. And the fact that you set your reader up for success, the fact that you set them up with love and you came in with open arms, as opposed to, all right, what are you going to get? Set it up in a way that they were able to give you accurate readings. And as someone who does readings for people, when you go into a situation where they give you permission to be honest, where they give you the person sitting across from you isn't challenging the truth, but they're accepting it as it's given to them. It is incredible how accurate the readings are. And you have skeptics that say, well, you're doing this and no. It is as real as can be in that moment. And I am so thankful that you had a good experience with that, because it's really offensive when someone breaks that trust. It's really offensive.
Yeah.
Whether I'm on stage or in your parlor or doing a thing on the street, if I'm doing my psychic show, not magic or any of that, because that we accept there's distrust. But if I'm doing my psychic show, if I bring you up on stage, I better respect you. I better be honest. I better give you the respect and bounce that trust back and forth, or I'm doing you a disservice. I'm not being ethical in my field.
Absolutely. We've got another video here we're going to show, and
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it'll be a little surprise. And then you doing your thing, and we'll come back and we can talk about it. This is really cool, folks. You're going to enjoy it. More of our extraordinary, amazing guests here on the Jim Masters Show. Michael Gutenplan is joining us live from Los Angeles. If you have any questions or anything, post them in the chat room as well. And thanks for being here around the world on the Jim Masters Show. Take a look at this.
We're going to draw a picture. Now, when you are done, again, hold it against you so nobody can see it. Something simple that if I showed it to everybody, they would know what it is. So draw a picture. Don't draw a circle, a smiley face. Obviously, don't draw that. Draw something simple. Who here has been to a psychic? Tarot reading, crystal reading, palm reading, body reading? A couple of hands going up. I think a couple more of you are thinking yes, but I'm not going to raise my hand. That's okay. A lot of people have been to psychics, and it's an amazing thing. You walk through the door, and they can tell so much about you just by looking at you and listening to you. And it's a technique. It's called cold reading. And it is the ability to look at someone, think of things that they're going to think of, and tell them about themselves. It's a technique. It is incredible. It does not take away from your experience knowing that there's a technique. Are you done? Okay, let's put it in here just so I can just in case of an accident. And do not forget what you wrote. All right, so keep that image, Drew, keep that image in your head. Cold reading. the art of looking at someone and knowing something about them. My promise is that nobody's going to be embarrassed, nobody's having a bad time. So we're going to do a cold reading, but we are going to keep it very broad, because I don't want, you're already comfortable being up here, let's be honest. Your name? Sophia. Obviously you're a fun person, you have a great jacket on, but it's interesting because the rest of you is in black, I mean shoes, pants. So my feeling, and be honest here, is that you are a very fun person around the people you want to be fun around. But if it's a room that you come into cold, you gotta warm up a little bit. You're not the person that bursts through the door having fun. So I think there's, just like your outfit, there's probably 2 layers of it. Maybe? Well, you know, yes or no would be good. I'm noticing gold and silver. You're someone that has a difficult time making up their mind. Sometimes, you know, if you're looking at the menu, you're asking everybody else at the table, what are you having? That's good. All right, we got a confirmation there. Is that a citrine on your neck, I believe? That's not, yes, it's a citrine. So you're not a traditional gal. You're not flaunting the diamonds. You're someone that likes something with a little bit of color. I would imagine that you probably have furniture in your house that has a little bit more splash of color than your partner likes. Where did you get this from? When you were a child, what did you want to be when you grew up? A doctor. What do you do now? I'm in sales. Both of them. You know, the secret to how I do what I'm doing is that we are more alike than we are different. When you're at home and you're out by yourself and you have those thoughts in your head, you think to yourself, nobody else thinks like me, and I'm the only one that thinks like this. That's not true. We are more alike than we are different. I'm going to ask you a few more questions that's going to help me figure out what you want, what you drew. If you could be anywhere in the world, where would you be? Italy. Okay. If you could be, well, let me ask you this: pizza or sushi? Which would you prefer? I'm asking these questions to someone who I just said can't make a decision. So, pizza. Beach or the pool? Beach. Beer or liquor or no alcohol? Liquor. Well, of course you can answer that one. Romantic movie or comedy? Romantic. I did ask you if you could be anywhere in the world, where would you be? Would you rather be traveling or would you rather be home? Home. Where'd you grow up?
Here.
In the DC area or? So this is based on your answers, the kind of thing I think you'll draw. Just hold it straight down. Don't look just yet. A little pizzazz, you know, a little thing. So you drew a house with a smoking chimney, a path. Based on your personality profile, I thought this is what you would draw. Go ahead and look. I think that's pretty amazing. Give her a round of applause. Good idea.
I'm going to have to talk to my lawyers about how you found that.
I tell you, I want to know where you found that suit, that blue suit. That is fantastic.
All right,
That's
I'm
a
willing.
great color.
I am willing to do this.
We're going to see his wardrobe closet.
We're going to
Here we
see
go.
my wardrobe here. Okay, so you can see how messy my apartment is here. This is the closet here. I have ridiculous. I have gold and purple. It's all very sparkly. So this is that suit. It's made out of basically tinsel.
Cool. Is that H&M?
Yes, it's
Yeah, H&M and Macy's. They have a lot of those. I did a lot of.
No, all of those are custom made.
That's
bespoke
custom made.
suits.
H&M has a lot of them. Yeah.
You know what happened was it's actually an interesting story. All of my suits and my shirts, everything is custom bespoke. I don't even do made to measure anymore. My shoes are Louboutin. They're covered with crystals. They're the most comfortable and expensive shoes in the world, but they are very comfortable. And what I discovered is when I perform for my clientele, which are the top 1% of the 1%.
Everybody's loving your shoes too.
Oh, thank you. I'll go grab those in a second.
They are military shined. Yes.
Let Well, it's not exactly a shine. I'm grabbing these shoes for you. These are absolutely stunning, very rare Louboutins. They're limited edition, only available at the Beverly Hills store a couple of years ago. And these are individually hand-applied Swarovski crystals. So I have a pair of these, and then I have a I have a second pair that's actually being repaired right now. And then if I'm wearing the tuxedo, I have the patent leather ones.
It just
But
shows that there's
what
quite an investment you make in the whole presentation too.
it's
Financial investment as
an
well. Yeah.
incredible financial investment in clothing. You know, everything is the finest, from the Rolex watch. And when people hear you talk like this, they go, "Oh my goodness, give me." No, there's actually a reason. There's the psychological reason, which is, again, nobody's coming to see me. I'm not at a point in my career where I'm, you know, and my name may be up there, but nobody, they're coming to see a mentalist. So when they see me dressed like this, wearing an expensive watch, wearing phenomenal shoes, a really fun, sparkly suit, the thing that they are thinking is, wow, this guy's made it. That suit fits him like a glove. That is beautiful. So it establishes success in a subconscious way. Again, the subconscious accepts truth as it's into it. I am saying that I am successful, therefore I am successful. I deserve your attention before the show has started. There's a second level to that, which is I'm fun. Most people go to a psychic show and they're expecting a guy clad in black with a
Very
goatee and
serious
glasses.
and
I'm going to read your mind. I'm
exactly.
going to speak like this.
That's-
No, you see me in this. I'm jumping up and down, making jokes. Well, I want you to feel that. I want there to be a show. I'm that combination of Little Richard, Liberace, Elvis, and Elton John. I want that outfit. I want that costume. So you have those elements. There's a third element in there. And it actually came from a show I was doing for the Saudi royal family, believe it or not. And I'm at their house, their compound in Beverly Hills. And at the end of the night, the butler comes up to me and he goes, "Very nice suit." And I was wearing a business suit at the time. And he goes, "You had that made for you, didn't you?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Wonderful shirt. You had that made for you." I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Where?" I said, "Anto. It's a place in." He goes, and yes, that's where my household gets their shirts from, Anto. Very best shirts in the world." He goes, "You need new shoes." I said, "What?" He goes, "Your shoes don't fit the outfit." And I said, "Well, they're fine, you know, they're what I." And he goes, "Look, my household, without thinking about it, they're not doing it to be rude or anything. They are looking at you, and they're looking at your tie, and they're going, okay, Hermes tie, Gucci belt, custom suit, great shirt, nice watch, crappy shoes." And they stop. Up until that point, you are equal with them. All of a sudden, we're no longer equal. I don't have the shoes they have. So what I chose to do consciously is have for me made fabrics, shirts, suits, and most importantly, shoes that nobody else can get. To have a custom pair of Louboutins, to have a suit that nobody else in the world is going to have, and have a phenomenal one at that, sets you apart. And it took me a long time to be comfortable with that because I didn't believe it myself. I kept questioning this story I was making up in my head that this head of household butler had told me. And then I started doing these shows at country clubs, and I would call them the dude, the bro, would come up to me and say, "I got to get those shoes. Great suit. Where'd you get it from?" And I went, it is working. And I am now at a place where it's not, I can get that. It's, how did you get that? You are awesome that you have it. And it all adds up to the show, the established personality, the persona. It's not about ego and expense. It's not about showing off. It is about establishing a persona, establishing the fun factor, but most importantly saying, no, this is worth your attention. This guy's dressed like this. I want to see what else he's done. But I love it. And Kathleen says it's the first closet you've seen on the show. Well, it's always good to be the first at something.
I believe that is the first closet. Usually we have seen the guests' chairs. A lot of times we did see a little hint of your chair. A lot of the guests will get up to get the Oscar, the Emmy, or the dog will run in the room, or a child will run in the room, or they have to go get a glass of water, or they have to just slide away temporarily. And then we've got this collection of all these celebrity guest chairs. And I said, I'm going to do a whole episode where we just show the chair. The viewers have to guess which guest sat in that chair.
Oh, that is funny. That is funny. You saw, it's interesting because you saw my cases in front of the closet. There were two big Pelican cases. And the joke I have in the Mentalist psychic entertainer world is you carry a lot of stuff for someone who does a mind reading show. Because you would think all I have to do is show up. Most of that case is stuff to give you a better show. I bring my own, the only thing I ask for in a client is a pair of speakers and the stage. I don't bring a stage with me, but I bring my own sound equipment. I bring my own tables.
Do you have a crew of people? Do you have helpers?
Yeah, you're looking at it. This lefty and righty.
Yeah. Does it ever get overwhelming?
No, it's Groundhog's Day. It's the same thing. There's no, like I said, there's no ego. There's no moment where I go, I am getting to, you come back from a trip. This week I have two shows. I have two shows in the DC, Baltimore area.
Oh, that's terrific. So you go all over the country. Yeah.
All over the country. There's nowhere I won't go. So,
let me know when you are in the New York area. Yeah.
Oh, I definitely will. Where in New York are you?
We're actually, yeah. Well, I'm actually really originally from Long Island.
Oh, hold on. Where?
I'll tell you off air so people don't
Google where you're from. I grew up in Roslyn, so I grew up. I grew up on Long Island also.
Well, born in Mineola.
Oh, right down the street
right
from me,
next
literally.
Right
Great
next
train
door.
station. But
But we grew
so
up
I'm going
in
to
Suffolk County. Yeah.
Oh, far out there. Oh my gosh. So I do these shows and I come with these two Pelican cases and I have a little cart. It's not that it gets overwhelming. It's it is tiring. I give. I hate when people say I give 110%. I give 100%. I don't,
you save the 10%
at every
yourself.
there is no, you can't do more than 100%. It's I give everything. So I do the show and I'm exhausted. And when you have two in a row, I'm not holding back. That first show deserves just as much as the second show. So what I do is it's not that it's overwhelming. It is kind of, you get home that day and you go, okay. And sometimes if I have, 3 or 4 shows, I'll fly back home to LA for a day or two just to reset. Even if it's a day, just to have a moment. Cause it is an old fashioned, get me a barn. I'm going to do a show. I'm Judy and the gang over here putting on an act. And it happens to be the most incredible show these people have seen. And there is an added benefit in that it's just me, because you come in, you set up, and the expectations are so low. Yeah. What guy did they get this week? Who is this person? I've never heard of him. Those expectations are below sea level. I do my show where I read their minds, predict the future, and unlock their psychic potential, and I blow them away. So you get a bigger response because the expectation is so low. And I really am giving them the most incredible experience of their lives. But the reason I bring so much stuff with me that has nothing to do with the actual act, I bring the tables, is because anything that goes wrong is my responsibility. So I no longer depend, unless it's a top-notch place, I no longer depend on the facility for microphones. I want to make sure they can hear me. I bring my own tables. I did a show where I said I need a table. They brought this giant 20-seat banquet table on stage. They said, you didn't specify what table you need. I bring my own now. I want my audience to have the best experience. They should never, the only person to blame for a subpar experience is me. And I don't want that ever to happen. So I control as much as I can. I'm talking about in therapy, control issues.
So when did you leave New York and Long Island? Was it as a kid? When did you move west to LA?
So I grew up in Long Island through middle school, Roslyn Middle School.
Neither one of us have that accent either.
A lot of college a lot of classes. Thank you, Carnegie.
I don't say Long Island. I never did.
Thank you, Carnegie.
Everybody off the island thinks that everybody says that. I don't say it.
No, I do not say it. Natalie Baker-Shire beat it out of me at Carnegie Mellon University.
And it's on the island, not in it, right?
I live on the island. Yeah,
on the island. Yes.
Who lives in the island?
What exit?
I don't even remember what it's been. I don't go back that often.
You still have family there?
I went to my father's still there. My father actually grew up in East Meadow. So my father,
Okay,
my
yeah.
aunt, my uncle, my grandfather, they lived in East Meadow.
Yeah.
I went to boarding school. They shipped me off
They shipped you off.
for high school in the Berkshires, a place called Berkshire
The-
School. It's my favorite place in the world. I love it so
We
much.
were just
It's in
up there. We
Sheffield.
were
That's
in Lee and
oh
Lenox and West
oh beautiful. So
Stockbridge.
this is
We were,
Sheffield, which
yeah,
is
we
right
were
there.
just up there for the
Uh,
full foliage sightseeing. So we're in the northern suburbs, north of New York City, along the
Okay.
New England coast.
Yep,
That's
I
where we
know
are.
exactly the
Right,
area.
right
and,
next door.
I was just there for a show there. That was in Stamford,
Beautiful.
Connecticut, and
You were just there, really?
Tuckaniki, I believe, is the club I was at. Tuckaniki Club, little inlet within an inlet. Like I said, 1% of the 1%. And
Most inlets are.
Yeah,
Outlets,
exactly.
no, but inlets, yes.
Inlets, you gotta have the right car and
That's
do
right.
other things. And
When
so
you don't
after,
have it, you shop at the outlet.
if you don't have it, they pull you over. Then after high school, I went to Carnegie Mellon in Pittsburgh for 5 years. I spent a semester in London, which I loved terribly.
Nice.
And then I
Very
moved to
nice.
New York, and I had a variety of things. I did some magic. I worked at
Off-Broadway
MSNBC.
show. Yeah.
Yes. So this is interesting. So I worked at As the World Turns. I worked at MSNBC. And I
Cool.
knew I had to move to LA, but I wasn't ready. My heart was in New York. I was living on the Upper West Side at 22, 23 years old. Nobody's in their right mind that'll leave that experience.
No.
And I needed to make money. I got to pay rent. So I
Especially on the Upper West Side, yeah.
booked a theater and put on a magic show, an old-fashioned show. I did it a couple times. And I ended up getting this fabulous New York Times review. You can see it right here. This is the review. It turned out great. And, as soon as that was over, I said, okay, I'm good. I'm going to move out to LA. I bought a car and I drove out to Los Angeles. And the day I got here, I guess 15, 16 years ago, the writer's strike started. Not this one, the last one. So I guess I was doing another magic show. So I did another magic show in Santa Monica.
Santa Monica, yeah. Well, when you were moving out to LA, what was it you were going to move out to LA
I was going to
for?
work in television. I was either going to be a writer or work in
Entertainment
reality. Yeah. And I had a good 15-year career in television. I made reality TV shows. I worked at
Which
Discovery.
ones? Tell us, yeah.
Well, I was an assistant for
Talking
E!
my language
Entertainment.
now with the television, yeah.
I worked at E! Entertainment. I was an assistant there. That was my first
Cool.
job. And then I worked at a place called Evolution. So I got to see the formation of the Housewives, Beverly Hills Housewives especially, which was really fun to kind of see the casting process and watch that thing come together. I worked at Discovery for 2 years, 4 years, holy smokes. A place called Discovery Studios is the production arm of Discovery Communications. And with them, I got to travel around the country, go to every state and meet every weird person out there to try to come up with a TV show. And then I popped around and I did some shows and I worked in production on a couple of things. And at the end of the day, I realized, you know what, this is not, I kept trying. I kept giving it the old college try and I wasn't getting to the place that I wanted to be. And
Which
I
was
said,
what? Did you know what it was?
No, because it was never supposed to be.
Mm.
I was trying to force something. I was trying to force a job that was never meant to be my job. And I took a deep breath and I said, I'll do magic while I figure out what I want to do. Maybe I'm going to write, maybe I'm going to do this, but this didn't feel right. And I realized, holy cow, I want to do magic. This is making me much happier. I'm much more satisfied doing this. And I had called my grandfather, for those of you just joining us, who was into magic, who got me into magic. And I was saying, you know, Poppy, I'm going to do the magic for a while. And my grandfather said, now you do the psychic show. You have ESP, I have ESP, your father has ESP, you're a third generation psychic. Do this psychic show. And it was the best advice I'd ever gotten. It instantly, my career took off. I've never been so happy. And I understood that the universe had set up this path of events. I couldn't have done this job 15 years ago. I needed all that stuff to happen. I needed disappointment. I needed the lessons in television and film, which I'm using next week at the Magic Castle. When I film my show, my old boss, Daniel, is producing my sizzle reel. He's helping me put the whole thing together. You know, everything happens for a reason. The universe sets us up for success. It is our job. We don't always get it right, and we miss a lot of the signs, but it is our job to always be open, always say yes. Allow the universe to guide you. It doesn't force you. It doesn't trick you. It guides you. And it's your job to follow that and say, yes, set me up for success. It sounds silly. It sounds new agey. Why
That's
not?
so cool. That's so cool.
Why not do it? Why not believe in something?
So you're putting together a show that will be a television show?
So
Or
we are
streaming
filming
on
it
the
like
internet, or
so we are filming it like a TV show. We have 5 cameras. We have a full audience, and everybody watching. If you are in California, I saw that someone in the comments section was asking about a show in California. So you are welcome to come to this show. All you have to do is go to my website, mentalist.show. Send me a contact through the email system in my website. You can just press submit. All I need is your name, email address, and phone number, and we'll put you on the guest list. It's November 8th at 11 a.m. at the Magic Castle. Business casual, so collared shirt, no big graphic tees or anything. But I'm going to perform 90 minutes, my full show. We're going to film it, and then we're going to use that to get bookings at theaters, cruise ships, other places other than the market I'm already established in. We saw the video at the beginning of the show.
Great. Yeah,
it's
terrific.
a big investment in myself, and it's an opportunity also to perform my full show. Because if I do a week at the Magic Castle, I get 20 minutes. I want to do 90 minutes. I want to do my full show for all these people that have supported me and cheered me on for all these years. It's a love letter. It's a thank you to everybody who has said you can do this. So it's a free show. It's an investment. It's an incredible experience. It just happens to be during the day.
Tell them you heard it on the Jim Masters Show Live series. Michael would love to hear that. That's fantastic. That's really, really cool. So you're using some of the TV noggin as well, incorporating that experience into what you do.
That's the
Awesome.
universe. The universe is saying, we're going to give you an experience, and it's your job to use it. To answer a couple of questions from the comments section, Kathleen, right now all of my events are private, and so you're welcome to book me.
But you had mentioned something about coming to New York and doing something, right?
The goal is to do regional theaters that
She's
will
in the city. She's in Queens.
Off-Broadway. Yeah, so that will ultimately, this path is over. We're looking at a 5-year plan, but the goal is to be doing another run in New York City.
What was that like when you did that run with Extraordinary Deceptions? I mean, a one-man show with rave reviews off Broadway in the heart of New York City. That must have been cool, huh?
It was the highest highs and the lowest lows. Until that review comes out, you're begging people to show up. There was one night where we had 3 people, and I knew 2 of them. The review came out that first Friday, and we sold out instantly. Within a minute, it was sold out.
Amazing.
And this was pre-social media, any of that. So it really was the greatest experience. And again, it was just a fun, goofy magic show. I think if I was going to do it now, the experience would be significantly better. I think it would get real buzz. And I'm friendly and familiar with most of the professional mind readers out there, the professional psychic entertainers. The ones that have made a name for themselves, they are as good as you think. Oz Perlman, who you see on TV, Eric Dittelman, who you see in colleges, John Stetson, who does ladies' nights and corporate events. These people are the best of the best, and it's an honor to be next to them. But what's even better is each person is unique and each person is different. So I know that my show will stand on its own 2 legs. It's built on the backs and the work of everybody else. But it stands and supports its own self at this point.
You know who we had as a guest on the show, legendary in this line of work and
Hold
pursuit.
on, stop. Kreskin.
Yes.
Psychic intuition.
And from the tri-state area, New York tri-state area, Kreskin, he was here.
Jersey,
he was amazing.
Kreskin
of course, he's amazing.
is a living legend. He's still alive and he's still working. He's still doing shows.
Yeah.
I've done dozens of interviews, and I will be the first person to say he's an inspiration. He is a guiding factor in our art. I have his books right here.
Yeah.
He is the best. And the reason he is the best is, once again, he is himself. He doesn't subscribe to anybody else's expectations. He has been authentic to being the amazing Kreskin all these years. And it's interesting. There's a great movie, The Great Buck Howard. It's inspired by Kreskin, and you watch this, and there's a moment. People become caricatures of themselves, and whether you're Copperfield or Kreskin, there's going to be a lot of people that go, "Oh, this guy, he's a joke. He's whatever." Well, I don't hear anybody using somebody else's name to describe a genre. Kreskin is literally, what are you, a Kreskin? What are you? He has board game.
Yeah, it's like Kleenex is to tissues.
100%. So whether it's your type of act or not, keep your mouth shut. This guy is the greatest, and there is a reason why his name is synonymous with psychic entertainment. It's an honor to be on shows that he has been on. I will gladly walk in his footsteps for the next 80 years doing shows like he is doing.
We had him on not that long ago, just a couple of months ago, and he was absolutely fantastic. I had met him earlier in New York at a couple of functions, and then it just got to the opportunity where he was able to come on the show, and he was really extraordinary. Anything that else that you want to show the viewers while they're all eagerly here listening?
Yeah, let me
every
get
word we're saying.
I wasn't going to do this.
Don't forget to like, comment, drop a comment in our comment section if you're enjoying this. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. When you like, comment, subscribe, it allows more people to see these episodes around the world. So you're really helping out our show, helping us grow. When you like, comment, and subscribe, and share the episode as well. And we appreciate all those who have done that. And comment in the comment section. All right. What has he got here? Let's see. Full screen.
Forks. Don't go anywhere, Jim. I'm going to need you to pick a fork in a second.
Suddenly I'm hungry for a snack.
These are, just in case people think it's some sort of magic thing, these are Winco forks. We're not going to do a magic trick. What I am
have a
going to do
junior
is show
cheesecake there we can dig into?
Oh, they do sell them. I had a client who thanked me once, and they sent me a cheesecake in the mail, and I thought, what a way to say thank you.
That's a good one.
I've gotten some interesting thank you gifts. So we're going to limit it down to 2. These are Winco forks. This is not a magic trick. So when you go back in your head and you think, what's the trick? There is no trick. I'm going to explain what I'm doing, and we're going to do it. I have 2 forks. This will be fork number 1, and this will be fork number 2. I'm not going to say right and left where you're confused. Number 1 or number 2, whichever one you say is the one we will use. 1 or 2.
I would say 1.
For the person that started the show by talking about you like even numbers, you haven't picked an even number yet.
I don't know why that is. I don't know why.
What we are going to do is
Halloween.
Put our energy, exactly. We're going to put our energy into the fork. Now, don't go anywhere because we're going to need you to help out with this. I'm going to try to keep it on video, but I want you to pay real close attention. Let's see if I can bend it so you can see it. There we go. It's a little hard. Now, it's just a little bit. Just a little bit. But what I'm doing is concentrating on the fork. And you can see, and we'll use the other one so you can see it actually moving. But you can see just a little bit of movement. Let's see if we can get some more movement. It's little. It's not fast, but it is real. Oh! And you can see it's just the tiniest bit. Kathleen thinks this is a fun show. I'm going to do this for you, Kathleen. I want you to pay close attention as I concentrate, and the fork bends. It just starts to melt. It starts to melt. And what you're doing is we're concentrating on a specific spot. So Jim, this is where you come in. I want you to concentrate on the tines. I want you to concentrate on this tine right there. I want you to just, in your mind, focus on it. You got it? And just kind of put your energy through the, there you go. Look at that. Look at what you just did there, Jim. That was you. That was through the computer, through the screen, you were able to do that. And do it. And it looks like magic. It feels like magic. It's not. It's psychic. Oh, it just
It's
moved on its own on that
incredible.
one. It's psychic
Wow.
energy being transferred, and you can bend it. I'm going to cut myself by bending it with my hand. You can bend it with your hand, and of course you can do two hands on the arm there. We're going to straighten that out. We're going to straighten it out. I'm going to put all of my energy into the fork. I'm going to put all of my energy into the fork, and it's going to get almost like butter, just warm. There we go. Just like butter. And if we twist after heating it up, it actually will twist the metal around. And it's an incredible experience. You do this in someone's hand at someone's house with their silverware. They don't like it so much, which is why I bring my own. But it really is amazing. I mean, the fork will continue to. There we go. Oh, it gets a little toasty there. But this is, and this is how it starts.
Is that why your
So,
mother's silverware is locked up at her house?
she would
She
not
doesn't
let me
let you
touch it.
near
Well,
it?
I'll tell you, if you travel the world, and go anywhere I have been, you may see bent forks. I do it most of the places I go, from South Africa all the way up to Alaska, all through South America, and of course all over Europe in the vineyards of Burgundy.
Incredible. Yeah.
You will find bent forks. And what I love about it is, after it melts, after you heat it up with your psychic mind, it hardens again. And the second time it hardens, it really is solid steel. But this, you can't move it because you heated it and unheated it. It's that thing with metals. I'm not a scientist, but it is tough. Jane wants to know if I do shows outside of the U.S. I do shows wherever I'm booked. So when someone sends me an email through my website, as long as they can afford it, I show up to do it. I've done shows in the Mediterranean. I've done shows every continent except I've never been to Australia. I've never done a show in Australia, but I've done shows on every continent. I've done shows in Central Africa for the Masai Mara, South Africa, in Cape Town. Those were great shows. I've done shows on the Mediterranean. I love it all. I think it's a universal language.
It really is, like music.
By the way, this is really, when you do this, it's really good for shrimp. You get 4 on one fork. It's great.
What's really odd is, for me, when I'm caught in traffic and there's a road rage situation where somebody cuts me off, for some reason, the middle tine is the one that always raises.
No comment.
Yeah. You got to laugh, right? You got to laugh. The world is a crazy place.
That is something I've learned.
I'm big on levity. That's the Irish in me.
Just relax. It's I was in Japan recently, and everybody waits online in Japan. You just stand up, it's part of life.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm taking this home with me. And I was at the UPS store this morning, and there was a line. I live in Los Angeles, and the Larchmont UPS store is very popular. And I was waiting in line, and and the person behind me was going, "Oh my goodness, come on!" And I looked at them and I went, "Man, come on, it's Halloween. Take a deep breath. Where else you got to be?
Right.
Just relax."
Why do you love doing this so much, where you've made it a career, a calling, a mission?
I really like people, and I really like sharing the experience of your powers, your abilities. We live hard lives. The world is in shambles. The politics are crazy. Times are tough. And that's not today. That's not today. That's life. We'll be using that expression for the next million years. Times are tough. I found something that can make the world a better place for an hour. And it would be foolish of me not to make a career of that. I really love it. I really love giving people extraordinary experiences, and it's a little ego, but I really believe, I don't think I do it better than my peers. I do it differently in an equal way. And I want people to have that experience. I want people to have as much fun as I'm having on stage. That's why I love doing it, because it's an opportunity to change someone's life in a moment. Give them a reason to smile.
See, that's the key. And that's what it is all about, to give them a reason to smile. And it's something that, it's in you and you're expressing it in such a fantastic way with humor, with bringing people in, interacting with them, making them feel good. And you want them to leave curious, wanting more, and feeling good about themselves, right? When they come to see you.
Yeah, you should have every day should have an extraordinary experience. Every day you should have an experience where you go, boy, I'm thankful. I didn't expect that. And
Right.
we don't get those enough. We don't get them every day. And we live tough lives. Not everybody gets to travel around the world doing shows. Most people have to go to work and work for someone they don't like, doing a job they don't care about. Let's take a moment and reward ourselves. We work more than we live.
That's
right?
so true.
We are
Right.
at work much more than we are out having fun. So those few moments of fun should be extraordinary fun. They should be so memorable. Not what did you do yesterday? I don't know. I did a show once. This is a life lesson I learned. I did a show in Florida, and I used to do now I only do psychic stuff, but I used to do strolling magic before the show started. And a gentleman taps me on the shoulder and goes, my wife would like you to come to our table. And I said, you know what? I'm about to go over there. I'll be right back. I go do the other table. I come back and I do the show. And the table goes, oh, you came back. And I go, well, yeah. And they go, oh, doing this. Okay. Well, I didn't realize it. I went to the other table. I didn't go to the table the gentleman asked me to come to. And I go to set up for my show, and I'm about to start the show, and this gentleman comes up and goes, you have ruined my wife's night. And this is an older gentleman. I mean, older in the sense that they had an ambulance out front just in case. He was
For him
was
or
old.
you?
For him. He was much old. And I said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I did not realize that I went to the wrong table. I'm not going to start the show, of course. And I have a few things that I take with me that, in case there's a problem, I'm always ready to do.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, truly extraordinary magic. I don't do magic in my show, but I have it with me, and just to be in case something goes wrong. So I go and I do this thing, and I come back to the table and I said, I'm so sorry. I'd like to. And the woman is shaking anger. And I say to the husband, would you like me? And he goes, so I go to another person at the table. I still entertain them. They clap. I do the show. And at the end of the show, I videotape every show just in case something goes wrong, in case there's something to remember. I have a camera going. This lady was sitting right where my camera is. So at the end of the show, she stands up. The husband goes, what'd you think? And she goes, I guess it was fine. Let's go. All right. That's a win in my case. Well, I go up to the manager at the end of the night and I say, hey, I'm just going to let you know about something that happened. There was a couple seated right here, and I think they may complain.
Mm.
And the manager goes, one person's going to complain. When can you come back? Because normally they get 20 complaints. Nobody complains at my show. It's I know what I'm doing at this point. And I explained to her the situation. I tell her the story I just told you. And she says to me, let me explain what happened. And I go, please, because I don't understand why she was so angry. She goes, you ruined her life. You stole from her the opportunity to see magic, and she couldn't get over it. And I said, well, this is ridiculous. I came back. She goes, I was trained at Disney. And I guess they call it something along the lines of the not enough ice problem. And the way this woman explained it is, you go to Disney World, you save up all your money, you have one vacation in your whole life. You clean up spills on aisle 6 for a living, and you've saved up everything, and you go to Disney World and you buy a Coca-Cola, and it doesn't have enough ice. This minuscule problem, where in real life you go, hey, can you give me some more ice, has been compounded. My whole trip to Disney is ruined because of this. Nothing will ever. So what she said to me is, don't look at this lady and go, oh my God, she overreacted. She's so crazy. You came back and you did the magic. She goes, look at it a different way. She's of a certain age. She's never going to have this experience again. She has waited her whole life. She probably saved up for this dinner and a show. And the one thing she wanted, which was magic and psychic, you took one of those from her. You didn't come back to the table. And when you did come back, you didn't do your show. You did the other thing, the makeup trick. And because you missed me, I was so angry I couldn't enjoy that moment. So instead of me looking at it going, this lady's crazy, I now look at it going, I have a responsibility. This person saved up their whole life. They, in their mind, they may die tomorrow, and this is the last thing they're ever going to enjoy. I better respect that. I better honor that. And it changed the way I perform. It changed the way I understand problems. It changed the way I react to people when they complain. It also changed my show in that when I get up on that stage and I entertain you, you are seeing Elvis. You are seeing Little Richard. You are seeing any performer who by the end of the show is covered in sweat because they gave it their all. You really should talk about this for the rest of your life. Otherwise, what's the point?
Mm. Right. It's a good reason why to do it. I'll drink to that too. That's a good reason to do it.
One for Mahler.
What's it? So you're enjoying the ride, and you got this show coming up at the Magic Castle, which is really exciting as you put it together. And let's stay in touch. Keep me posted as to when it's all finalized, because I would love to see it, and we can tout it, and maybe even have you come back. You know,
I would love that.
all finished. This was awesome, my fellow original Long Island compadre. This was really amazing, and you're amazing at what you do, and I really appreciate you taking time to stop by the Jim Masters Show Live series and spending some time, as well as entertaining us in the way that you did, telling us the backstory. Like I tell everybody, these aren't interviews, these are conversations.
Yeah.
Sort of like Dick Cavett, Carson, you know, the legends with a modern vibe. And this was really terrific. And hope the show met whatever expectations you had, my friend. You enjoyed the time with me as much as I absolutely have with you, Michael.
Well, thank you so much. And I want to also thank the Lovity Club.
The Lovities, yes.
The Lovities.
Yeah.
They were engaging, and also they were as magical as you were. So thank you all for watching and being a part of it. Follow me, Amazing Mentalist, on Instagram or any social media platform, so you can follow me and see what I do.
Spread the word. This YouTube episode link is now archived, and you can set it, share it on social media if anybody missed it. And spread the word about our show. You know, there are folks, Michael, let them know we're here, and love to welcome them to the show as well. And what do you need? A shipment of bagels or pizza, hot dogs, knishes? What do we need to send out west?
The knishes.
All of it?
You can't get knishes out here.
Knish with mustard.
Bagels don't even get me started. Pizza, we have decent pizza now, but definitely no knishes. It's the worst. We're a knish desert.
You're in a knish desert. It's cavelting over the knishes. This was awesome. I really hope you enjoyed yourself, my friend. And this is what we do at the Jim Masters Show, and I'm so glad that you're a part of it tonight. We'll keep the porch light on for you. You're welcome back anytime, my friend. Okay.
Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for your comments and participating.
Absolutely. You be well. And thanks again for all the time, too.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Good luck with Magic Castle. Keep me posted.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. Cheers. Michael Gutenplan here on the Jim Masters Show Live, Entertainment, Lifestyle, Celebrity Talk Show series. How cool was that? World-renowned master mentalist and psychic, magician, entertainer, stopping by from Long Island. Say, that was intuition. Originally Long Island. And I was born actually next to the town where he was raised. And then we were raised out east on the island, as they say, in the New York area, of course. And how cool, huh? He's doing what he loves. I do what I love. And we're both sort of entertaining and communicators. It's amazing. There is something in the water in the New York area. There's a lot of people who like to communicate, talk, converse, entertain. I don't know what it is, but a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, and a good conversation, and some surprises too. He graced us with some of his amazement with what he was showing us live on the air, which I thought was so cool. We thank him for stopping by. And if you want to know more, you can go to mentalist.show. That is his website. And again, we were showing some of these cool photos as well. If you joined us late, we also showed some really cool videos of him doing his thing. He also did some really cool things for me and for all of you exclusively on the Jim Master Show live. And that was cool. Wasn't that a lot of fun? What a blast this was. We're going to take a look at a couple of the comments. And then, boy, we have a lot of great guests coming up. Oh, boy. For those that are watching live, tomorrow we have co-owner, third-generation executive chef of the iconic Patsy's Italian restaurant joining us from New York City live at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Tomorrow, he's an author of several cookbooks. It's a fabulous and just fantastic restaurant. I can't say enough F's. Fantastic. Well, phenomenal is PH, isn't it? It's all of the above. Sensational, terrific, delicious. When you go to Patsy's, bring your hungry appetite. And yeah, we're going to chat with him tomorrow. So we're very excited about that. For those, again, that are watching live, there you go, right there. That is tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Again, for those watching live. And then tomorrow night, those who love Little House on the Prairie, Nellie Olson, Allison Ongrim is returning for a return engagement here on the Jim Master Show Live. She just got back from Paris, and she's going to be with us as well. And again, she played devious Nellie Olson on Little House on the Prairie. She's with us tomorrow. So we've got 2 shows tomorrow, double levity, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, with iconic Patsy's Italian restaurant owner, co-owner, and executive chef. Sal's going to be with us. We're looking forward to that. And then we take you to Little House on the Prairie. Allison Arngrim joining us 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Now, if you're watching this episode many months after those announcements, you'll be able to see those in the archives. But since we're doing the show live right now, these haven't happened yet. But they are happening tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Boy, do I have a lot of work tomorrow. I'm on the air. I have 4 radio shows to host, scripts to write for television. And then we've got these JMS episodes for all of you. One more time, we do thank our very special guest, Michael Gutenplan, joining us. Good luck to him with the TV show at Magic Castle. It's going to be fantastic. And let's take a look at a couple of quick comments here. We thank everybody for watching. You know, I'm always out there seeking great guests, celebrity friends, and all kinds of terrific people to bring on for all of you on this show here. Many of you have become friends since we started this show. Some of you follow each other on social media since we started this show. And that's amazing. If I never started that show, some of you may never know the other one existed. There's just been this incredible additional icing on the cake that has flown out of JMS Levity Hall as a result of starting this show 3.5+ years ago. And I'm so glad I did. And of course, all these great guests, we're always on the hunt looking for terrific guests for all of you, great entertainment, inspiration. All of it. And whether they come from Hollywood or Broadway, television, film, music, stage, you know what I usually always say, everywhere and everything internationally. It's all here to give you some time to get away from the craziness of life and join us and spend some time with us. And I love doing it for all of you. A lot of work behind the scenes to put all this together, but thanks for all of your support as well. Kathleen did a very nice super chat. That really helps our show big time when you do super chat, super emoji, super stickers. We truly thank you for that. Kathleen in New York City, I know you had an awesome time, my friend. Michael, you're amazing. Loving this show. Thank you for being here for us. So enjoying this. Thank you very, very much. And Austin says, these are wonderful tricks. I love it. Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And happy Halloween, everybody. Kind of a cool guest to have on Halloween, right? And we're going to say, before we wrap, we want to say a very special happy birthday to somebody special who's celebrating his 15th birthday. Big supporter of our show. I mean, he's done super emoji, super chats. He loves our show. He's 15 years old, and he's really a cool cat. He loves the levity on the show. That's something he writes to me personally. We write back and forth, and he's just a really cool kid. And we love having him be a viewer, a subscriber, supporter of our show. And in just a second, we want to say a special happy birthday to him because, it's his birthday and he asked for a shout out. And I said, I would be very happy to do that. And Austin Fields says, another excellent show. Please subscribe for great content. You got it. Absolutely as well. And everybody else, thanks for all these great comments. We appreciate that. These are great stories to learn from. They really are. Timothy Larson, thank you, Michael, for sharing your life, talent, and passion with all of us tonight. Very enjoyable. Good luck with the upcoming TV taping. Timothy Larson, thank you for being with us as well. And thanks, Jim. Another great conversation. Thank you, Timothy. I appreciate that as well. Gang, if you want to follow me on all the social media too, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, which is now X, and Facebook at Jim Masters TV. Also, really important stuff. If you want to help the show grow, here's something that can really help us reach more people. More people will have an opportunity to enjoy and relish in and have a good time with all this content and all these episodes, 1,000+ episodes of our series. If you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Leave a comment on the actual channel in the comments section. Interact with us underneath the episode in the comments section. Give it a thumbs up like. There's a little thumbs up icon. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. We would absolutely love that. To those of you who have, we see you, we see who you are, and we really appreciate it. We've had thousands of new subscribers join us recently. People obviously really enjoying and appreciating what we're doing, and that means a lot. But if you really want to help the show reach more people, when you like, when you comment, and when you share, on your social media, it actually triggers the algorithm to shoot the episode out around the world to many more people. And all you have to do is like, comment, and share. And of course, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And the power of all of that, that actually helps the show continue to grow and reach even newer heights, which I think is amazing. We've reached some really cool heights over the 3.5 years thus far with all of you following along. And we really appreciate that. But there's so many more cool things that are happening behind the scenes, and that would help us continue to grow. So thank you very much to those of you who do that. We see that, we see the interaction, we see the likes, the comments, subscriptions, and that means the world to us, and it really helps the show reach more people. And it's free to do too. So we really appreciate you doing that. Somebody special that is enjoying our series, and it is birthday, and we want to say happy birthday to Leo Thelian. Leo Thelian's birthday today. He is 15 years old. He is one of our biggest fans, one of our biggest supporters. He loves the show. He loves the episodes. He asks for certain guests to be on the show. He watches, and he loves the levity. There he is, smiling on his 15th birthday. How cool to have a diehard fan of the Jim Masters show as Leo. So Leo, to you, happy birthday from Jim Masters and all your friends here, all the JMS levities at the Jim Masters show live. It's awesome to have you with us. And you, again, have been so supportive of our series, and you tell everybody. That's really cool at 15 years old. Congratulations. Happy and healthy, Leo. And to many, many more years of levity coming your way, my friend. Happy birthday to you from me and us. All right. I wanted to get that in there. And that was so nice. And of course, our levities are all saying happy birthday to you as well, Leo. Yep. All the JMS levities here as well. Gang, thanks very much. Maureen is here. Such a fabulous evening. Lovely Hole. Thank you, Jim and Michael. Thank you as well. And everybody. Kathleen, again, thanks for the super chat. We appreciate that as well. All the comments coming in, and appreciate it. You guys are the best. And we love having you here on the show. And we will be back. Again, we got 2 shows tomorrow. And we're just going to keep pumping out all this content, all this fun for all of you here on the Jim Masters Show. So again, like, comment, subscribe, share, have a blast, enjoy. And from Lovely Hall, this is your host, Jim Masters, thanking you for your time this time. Till next time, Jane in Sweden says, happy birthday, Leo. Thanks, everybody, for all the lovity for Leo. All right. He's going to love it when he sees this. I think he's watching now, but he might be having some birthday cake. It's a very busy day for Leo today, and he's a really cool kid. So we love having Leo here and love having all of you here. It means the world to us. So we'll see you on the next episodes, okay? Spread the word. Tell everybody you know about our show. And thanks for watching this episode of the Jim Masters Show live series. We appreciate you as well. Take care and be well. Cheers.